this is the first story that I wanted to cover for today, and it's been revealed, Chad. This is coming us from Variety. Keanu Reeves is set to voice Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And I'm just going to go ahead and read the article, and I'll come back with my thoughts. I'm going to hear your thoughts on this, of course, too. From Hitman to Hedgehog, John Wick leading man Keanu Reeves will voice Shadow in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, a source confirmed to Variety. He joins a cast that includes Ben Schwartz as Sonic, as well as Jim Carrey as the villainous Dr. Robotnik. A spokesperson for Paramount Pictures, the studio behind the film, declined to comment. Ooh. In the game, Shadow, an anthropomorphic hedgehog, his fur is black, while Sonic's is blue. Is an anti-hero of sorts. He's also often an antagonist to Sonic. Reeves' credits include Speed, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and My Own Private Idaho, as well as the Matrix franchise. He will next appear in the John Wick spinoff Ballerina, opposite Ana de Armas. His character's reveal in the new trailer that dropped last week at CinemaCon got huge applause from the crowd of movie theater executives. Of course, all the executives were fucking clapping. Signing the actor's box office prowess. Reeves also set to co-star in Good Fortune alongside Aziz Ansari, Seth Rogen, Keke Palmer, Sandra Oh, etc., etc. Of course, Sonic 3 will open in theaters on December 20th, 2024. That's actually a hell of a release date. They got a lot of confidence in that. Franchise one of Paramount's most successful, certainly recently. With the combined global box office for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 standing $725.2 million. So he was also making a spin-off series, Knuckles. That's right, that will premiere on Paramount Plus. I forgot about that. So you got that. And Reeves casting Sonic 3 was the first report on the John Campea show. So there you go, chat. Official word. So I'll say this, and this is actually would be related to when I get into my review and discussion on the Fall franchise. We are kind of living in a really nice time period for video game adaptations. Not to say that we haven't gotten bad video game adaptations. Of course we have. But there have been a lot of good ones, great ones, excellent ones. And, the Sonic films have been fun. They have their flaws, obviously. They were better than they had any right to be. And despite my misgivings, going into them, I had a lot of fun with those movies, particularly with Jim Carrey. I thought he was great as Dr. Robotnik. It was great to see that 90s Jim Carrey again in such a great way. And, of course, for those that don't know, the end credit scene, stinger, or whatever, the last moment of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 revealed that Shadow the Hedgehog will indeed be a major character featured in the third one. He's in Gun's headquarters, chat, since they're responsible for his creation from the video games. And everyone was speculating who they could potentially cast. For a while people were advocating for Hayden Christensen to voice Shadow. I think he could have pulled it off, definitely. And I'm sure there were other names people throwing out there, but I know one of the other names was Keanu Reeves for a while, and of course it was confirmed, or at least via these sources. Paramount itself hasn't said that it is indeed Keanu Reeves. I guess they were holding back on that, although John Campea and his folks, they just went ahead and revealed it. Probably gave themselves a lot more attention for it, too. Keanu Reeves, as I've said before, I think he seems to be a great guy, a great man. He's made some really good movies. Obviously, most recently has had a bit of a career renaissance thanks to the John Wick franchise. I mean, the John Wick is one of the most influential action franchises of all time. It's right there, head and shoulders next to stuff like Die Hard. Of course, you had all the movies that were influenced by Die Hard. Speed was one of those films. You had Die Hard in a bus, Die Hard in a boat, Die Hard, etc. And so now John Wick is that, and and of course Keanu Reeves has made a number of other films over the last few years too. I don't think he's the greatest actor though. I don't think he's a very good actor at all. Matter of fact, however, his voice roles, I can only speak on one of his voice roles, and that is his performance as Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4. I actually thought he was really good in that movie. That movie itself I thought was fantastic. Obviously, made me cry 2 or 3 times when I first watched it. But his character really stood out. And so I'm sure he can do a good job playing this character. Matter of fact, the fact that Shadow, who is supposed to be the some people consider him to be, he's the evil version of Sonic, which not really, but he's definitely the more angsty, the darker version of Sonic. I guess you can also make comparisons to Vegeta from Dragon Ball, similar to that, right? He started off as a villain, they became more of an anti-hero, and then became a hero, of course, right? But he always has that kind of angsty, edgy feel to him, which I'm sure Keanu Reeves can definitely pull that off, and and they're going to give him like this very self-serious dialogue. And of course, the way Keanu Reeves says or struggles to say self-serious dialogue is endlessly entertaining, whether it be good or bad. It is entertaining to listen to and to make fun of. And so I think they're probably going to lean into that aspect, which I can understand why they would cast him. So I'm like good with this cast. I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to Sonic 3. You know, I've liked the previous two movies, to various degrees. And so, I think this is a cool casting. What about you guys? How do you feel about the casting for Sonic Hedgehog 3? Keanu Reeves playing Shadow the Hedgehog. Let me see what you guys are saying. I wonder how the voice will be. I think it will just be his voice. I think it's going to be him pretty much as John Wick. I think that's exactly what they want. It's like, I need a gun from Gun, because he works for Gun. So that's exactly what they're going to do. He's just going to be John Wick. Last was a great video game adaptation, and the Sonic movies included the Mario movie. Yeah, I got a lot of big video game adaptations. I mean, Mario was one of the highest grossing films of last year. I think it was like the second highest grossing movie of last year. Second or third, it was in the top 3. So there's a lot of potential, a lot of untapped potential for video game adaptations. Shadow is just going to sound like Johnny Silverhand. I think so, Rockabird. I think you're right. Yeah, he's just going to sound like Keanu Reeves. Maybe a little more over-exaggerated, but pretty much Keanu Reeves. Ooh, excuse me. His voice overall in general was when he returned as Ted for the Bill and Ted cartoon. Oh shit, I didn't know that that he returned for that cartoon. That's cool. The black aliens. Yeah, I know. Are they gonna bring in the black aliens? Chat. We'll have to find out. Who voices Rouge the Bat then? Yeah, people are speculating that Rouge will also appear. They're either saying that's gonna be Rouge or Amy. And I wouldn't be shocked if it's both. But, because oftentimes they've paired Shadow with Rouge, since they're kind of like the anti-heroes. First villains, then anti-heroes of the series. I think they confirmed who some of the other cast members are for Sonic 3. Obviously, Keanu Reeves is the big one. Let's see here. I think they did confirm like an unspecified role. So here it is. So, you have all the people that obviously are coming back. Like the voice cast for, Ben Schwartz, Idris Elba, etc. Now Keanu Reeves has been added on the Wikipedia as Shadow the Hedgehog. And you got Colleen O'Shaughnessy as Miles Tails. There you go. But this is additional people in the cast but they haven't said who exactly they're playing. And the additional cast members include Kristen Ritter, who I feel like could either be Amy or could be Rouge. I think she could do both roles, honestly. And so I'm curious who they're going to cast her as. And then you have a couple other people. You have Sophia Pernas, Cristo Fernandez, James Wolk, Jorma Tacone, and again, all in undisclosed roles. So I would not be surprised if a couple of those people are also voice roles, and if Kristen Ritter or maybe possibly Sophia Pernas, that they are either Amy or Rouge. So you have that. So I'm sure they'll reveal that in time. Once we get a trailer, I bet they'll definitely have a lot of focus on Shadow, I'm sure. And obviously Jim Carrey, who is returning to the role. Because I remember, for a while, people were saying, it doesn't look like he's going to come back for it. I think Jim Carrey, he infamously said, the only way I would, I love playing this character, but the only way I would come back to play him again is if the script itself was written in gold ink. And apparently that thing was written in gold ink, because he's back. And I wonder and I love how he's kind of become more like Eggman throughout these movies. Like in the most recent film, he's bald, he had the mustache and everything, the ridiculous facial hair. And so I'm wondering if they're going to make him really fucking fat in this, because that's the last thing he needs to be, is super, super fat. So I'm very curious. He's going to get thick, chat. I got that sickness for the thickness, as you guys all know. But yeah, so you definitely have some undisclosed roles. I'm sure one or two of those people are going to play other characters. And so you can assume either Amy or Rouge and any of the other fucking, characters from the Sonic mythos could show up. Because there might be Rouge, that's just me. I think so. I wouldn't be shocked. It could be a voice role, but someone like Kristen Ritter, I feel you would cast in a live action role, but it would turn out different. Yeah, I guess, but I'm not sure who you would you would cast her live action wise. I'm not from the Sonic, mythos. Unless it's just a new character they create, but I think it'd be kind of cool. Plus, doesn't she have kids now? Doesn't she have kids? I forget if she has kids or something. So maybe she's like, I want to do something with my kid, So, because she's done a lot of mature dark content like Breaking Bad and like Jessica Jones and shit, and she's like, I can't really show my kid my my stuff, and so to have her have her be like do a movie, because actors love to do that. Once they start having kids, it's like, I want to do something where they can watch what I do for a living. So I think that would be an easy way in where you voice this character. So we'll see. Coming from Batman, that's true. Yeah, people don't know he also voiced Batman in Super Pets movie. There's a lot of people who liked his performance. Oh, let's see. Surrounding I like the Sonic TV series. Would be cool if that supporting cast. I think that would be really cool if they brought in Jaleel White. I think that would be awesome. I think they should do that. Or as some characters or something. CinemaCon trailer apparently shows him a little bit. He's a little bit bigger, a little thicker. And will be of age there. Yeah, yes, I'm sure. well, no. The thing is though, because isn't Sonic now? Correct me if I'm wrong. He's like supposed to be like a teenager. Like he's supposed to be like a kid. Like him and Miles, like they are kids, right? Because he's like adopted by the James Marsden and Tika Sumpter. Like they even say in the movie in Sonic 2, which actually the thing is about, I think some people like the first one more. I think I like the second one more. I think it's a little bit better. And I like it's so ridiculous, but some of my favorite moments of that are kind of like the warm, wholesome moments. Like I like the one scene where you have Tika Sumpter and James Marsden, and she even says, let's, like, because when Sonic's in danger or something, she's like, let's go save our son. And I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, hell yeah. Let's save your blue anthropomorphic CGI son. And I believed it. So, I like that. So, but anyway, in any case, to my point, it's like he's still a kid. And so they're racing. And I think he's like a teenager. So, and I'm sure Amy and Rouge and Shadow and shit would be Miles is a teenager. I assume Knuckles is kind of like a teenager too. I know he sounds like Idris Elba, but I think he's supposed to be like a teenager, clearly. That's how I've read into it. I could be wrong. They're not gonna have him fuck. they're not gonna do that. Amy will be of age though, right? Because she's like, I think they'll have them be the same age. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I'm not going to start humping on the screen. I think we'll be fine. Oh Lord, yeah, she has one kid, so yeah, she probably wants to do like a movie for her kid, so that makes sense. She's probably like one of those two characters. Especially 17. There you go. I like that Sonic film franchise is getting more of a budget and it's a little more star power with each film. Remember in 2011, I told someone a Sonic live action would be cool, and they said that sounds like it would be awful. To be fair to them, it was off Rockstar at the OG. Oh no, the Andrew animation was fucking horrifying. I know people have said audiences shouldn't have a say in how a film is being presented. I'm just like, I don't know about that. Or influence the creative process. I'm like, that needed to be fucking influenced, okay? Because that thing, that would have killed that movie. Like, it would have hurt it significantly. There wouldn't have been a Sonic 2. There wouldn't be a Sonic 3 with a potential for, more entries in this franchise. It would have killed it dead. That's what happened. It would have been mocked. I mean, and later on it was embraced thanks to the Rescue Rangers. Chippendale Rescue Rangers. It was so funny they brought him back, which was fucking brilliant. I couldn't believe what they did with that. It was so fun. So it had a lot going against it, but they listened and they fixed it. Killed that CGI VFX studio though. They delayed the film infamously, but it worked. It worked out in hindsight. So I mean, to be fair, I would have said to make it purely animated, but a lot of the live action stuff worked. Not all of it. Some of it was, was familiar. It was kind of hit and miss. But everything with Jim Carrey was amazing. So yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to this third movie. I think it'll be fun. Plus, they have a lot of content. They're releasing it on Christmas. They're like, hey, move aside. Sonic's coming through, and I think this will, because of Shadow, because of Jim Carrey coming back, and because of, I imagine they want this to be a huge cinematic universe. They have a lot of confidence in it. So it's probably going to be the highest grossing film in the franchise thus far. So we'll see. It's coming out the exact same day as Lion King prequel. That is competition, though, for it, I have to admit. I mean, I would see Sonic 3 over Lion King prequel any goddamn day of the week, no question. That, as you guys know, yes, that movie made a fuck ton of money, of course, but the Lion King live action, but not really live action remake, CGI remake, that movie fucking sucked. And I have no interest in a prequel or whatever. I don't care. all these Disney remakes, I'm just like, God, can we just stop? For the love of God, I'm tired of all these live action remakes. There's only like I can count on my one fucking hand the amount of good live action remakes Disney has made. And Lion King, 2019, where the fuck the movie came out, was not that. So I'm very much looking forward to Sonic 3. So yeah, this is cool. I think that's good casting. Can't wait for it. Hope it's fun. Hope it's great.